Today we're going to talk about finding the area of a rectangle. I first want to review perimeter quickly. So perimeter is the distance around the rectangle. Think of perimeter as a fence. So if we imagine this rectangle up here in the top left corner as my yard, if I asked you to find how much fencing we would need to close in my yard, that would be finding the perimeter, because you would have to go all the way around the yard to close in that fence. Area is different. Area is the space inside the yard. So if I asked you to measure how much grass was in my yard, that would be finding the area of my yard. Because again, area is the space inside the rectangle. Whenever we find the area of a rectangle, we use one formula. This formula is area equals length times width. I'm going to write that out for you. Area equals length times width. Length is how long the rectangle is. So long, that's the length. And width is how wide the rectangle is. We can also write this formula as A equals L times W for short. That's the way I like to write it. We are going to solve 3 problems together using this formula today. First, turn your attention to rectangle A. This rectangle is 9 units long by 4 units wide. So to find the area of this rectangle, we are going to use our formula A equals L times W. We don't know what the A is because A stands for area, and that's what we're trying to find. So I'm going to put A back down here. But we do know what the length is. Like I said before, the length is 9 units. So for the L, we're going to put 9. Then we carry the times down, and we also know what the width is. The width is 4 units. So we're going to put 4 under the W. Now we solve. 9 times 4 equals 36. So the area of this rectangle is 36. Now on your workbook pages, they're going to ask you to write down the number sentence. The number sentence is this right here. What numbers did we use to find our answer? We use 9 times 4 equals 36. So that right there would be my number sentence. Alright. I want you to remember that it's okay if you don't know all of your multiplication facts. Remember that you can use your multiplication in the front cover of your workbooks. I'd like you to pause the video here, and then I want you to try to solve the first problem on page 6 for me. Hey guys, I'm back. If you struggled finding the answer to number 1 on page 6, that's okay. This next example should help you out. I want you to look at rectangle B. This rectangle isn't filled in all the way like rectangle A was. But we can see that the top row is split into 3 squares. I'd like you to imagine copying that first row into all of the other rows. so that we'd have 5 rows of 3 squares. I'm going to fill in the other rows so that you can see what I mean. Now we can easily see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 squares in this rectangle. So by counting the squares, we easily found the area to this rectangle. It would be 15 square units. Let's also try using the formula to practice and find out if our answer is correct. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to remind yourself what that formula for area is. The formula to find the area of a rectangle is area equals length times width. We also learned that we can write this short as A equals L times W. We know the length of the rectangle is 3, and the width of this rectangle is 5. So we're going to fill in our formula. L is 3 times width, which is 5. Now all we do is solve. 3 times 5 equals 15. Perfect! We got the same answer both times. Don't forget the number sentence. Here my number sentence is 3 times 5 equals 15, since these are the numbers that I used to solve the problem. Dang, we're getting good at this whole area thing. Let's move on to our last example. Rectangle C is a tricky one, but it will definitely help you with the rest of your assignment. Let's start by writing our formula for area. Area equals length times width. The length of this rectangle is 6 units. And the width is 4.5. See this little guy, this little half guy at the bottom? He makes our job a lot harder. We haven't talked about fractions yet in 5th grade, so multiplying 4.5 times 6 is going to be really hard for us right now. So we need to think of a different way to solve this problem. We know that multiplying is like adding the same number to itself over and over. So if we change this to an addition problem, we need to add 4.5 to itself 6 times. Now we should be able to add up all of our widths to find the area of this rectangle. We know 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 24. Now my answer is not quite done yet. We still have all of those halves. If we take 1/2 plus 1/2, we'll get 1. So if we do that for all of the halves, we will have 3. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. So we take our 24 plus our 3 to get our full answer to find the area of rectangle C. 24 plus 3 is 27. Now we cannot forget our number sentence, and this one's really tricky. I'm going to highlight in black how we will write our number sentence. It is this long chain of numbers, 4.5 plus 4.5 plus 4.5 plus 4.5 plus 4.5 plus 4.5 equals 27. This whole part is our number sentence. Now, I want you to go ahead and use what you learned to solve the rest of page 6. And yes, you must do the try this on number 4 and answer number 5 explaining